Hi, I'm Tom Birkeland, author of An Introduction to the Policy Process and professor of public policy at North Carolina State University. I hope you enjoy the book, and I hope you find these videos useful. Chapter 8 is about decision-making and policy analysis. I put the two topics together in the same chapter because they complement each other and rely upon some of the same ideas in policy analysis and in the study of decision-making. In terms of policy analysis, this chapter introduces the history of policy analysis as a distinctive activity in the United States. And the summary of that is that policy analysis hasn't quite met the promise it had 50 years ago as a method of solving problems in the United States. Policy analysis is a part of the policy process, but doesn't replace the policy process, and it doesn't replace politics. A lot of people had hoped that policy analysis would lead to a more enlightened form of policymaking that would take some decisions out of the somewhat messier political system. But it hasn't done that. And in fact, as you'll read in Chapter 8, policy analysis can be harnessed in the service of policy advocacy, which is fine. It's helpful to understand that policy analysis is not strictly a neutral scientific approach to the making of public policy. That's a good segue into discussions of decision making. We tend to prize in American politics the idea of rational decision making. We tend to say that things are bad if people are irrational, if they're making irrational decisions. And for years, a basic assumption of economics in policy analysis is that people were rationally acting actors that maximized something like utility or their benefits or things like that. But coming later, theories of things like bounded rationality found that people aren't necessarily fully rational decision makers. We try the best we can, but we don't have the time and cognitive ability to make a fully rational decision. And then later research has found that, for example, people fear losses more than they value gains. This is called prospect theory, which was pioneered by Kahneman and Tversky. And that suggests that people's decision-making isn't entirely rational. So the lesson here is that rational decision-making is an ideal type, and it's heavily normative. In other words, it's the way things should be, but it's not necessarily the way things are. So by the time you're done reading this chapter, you'll have a little bit of insight on what policy analysis can do, and a little bit of insight about how people make decisions in the policy process. Thanks for watching this video. As always, I really enjoy hearing from students and teachers about the book and about public policy. Feel free to reach out to me at tom@tombirkeland.com or visit my website, tombirkeland.com. Thanks again for watching.